Hey guys, I'm Big Mike, and like always, I'd like to thank you for being here today. Today we've got a webinar from CTS talking about spread matrix, option sheets, their Autospreader, as well as third-party applications. This webinar is part of our 4-year anniversary during the month of June. We actually have 16 very special webinars all month, and during each of those we're giving away lots of really fantastic prizes. Including in this webinar, giving away a iPad or a Android tablet, plus a few other assorted things. So be sure to pay attention to the webinar, and the quiz questions at the end will be based on the content covered today, and that way you have a chance to win one of those prizes. As always, the webinar is being recorded. I'll post the recording on BMT sometime tomorrow. If you are watching the recording at a later date on YouTube, do me a favor and give us a thumbs up if you like it. If you're watching it on BMT, do me a favor and fill out the feedback form right below the video so we can get your feedback. Okay, with that, I'm going to first turn things over to Adam from Keyboard Trader. He's a third-party developer for CTS, and we're going to get started with something he has to show us first, and then we'll switch to Brian from CTS after that. So give me 1 second, and let me bring up Adam. Okay, Adam, you should have the option to share your screen now.
All right, give me 1 sec here.
And Brian, I'm going to turn your mic on if that's okay, just so you can talk if there's anything that you need to say, okay?
Okay.
All right, it's on right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. And
Okay.
And we see the screen.
Do you see the screen with all the CTS windows?
Yeah, like 5 different DOMs or 6 different DOMs, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and what about the video? Can you see any video of a keyboard, or is that?
No, I don't, at least. I don't see that.
No? Okay. All right, give me 1 sec. If we can't get it to work, we'll just have to skip it. Okay, I actually don't see it on here.
Yeah, I think that's
right,
only
so what
for
I'm gonna do,
meetings and not webinars, but I'm not sure. It'll be fine.
Okay. All right, that's fine. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just an image on a video from our website of what the keyboard is that I'm going to be using right now. This is I'll make this a small image here. All right, so we are a new add-on for CTS. We're actually just going to release our product Keyboard Trader probably this week. And what we offer is a very efficient way to trade. It's good for scalping, very active intraday trading, working the opens, closes, data releases, Fed statements, anywhere where you need a time edge. We like to think, a great option for manual traders. So on this image on the lower right part of the screen, actually, you know what? I will just make it bigger for a second. We have this is a video from our website. This is a picture of a keyboard that I'm going to be using right now, and with this keyboard, I'm going to control all the orders that you're going to see on your monitor. So unfortunately, I can't show you the video of this keyboard working at the same time, but you could get a better idea from our website, or you could also ask me for a demo at some point if you need to. All right, so if anyone's ever tried trading with a keyboard, you might know that there's always been a lot of options for managing one product, but not really too many options for trading multiple products at the same time. There's never been any spread functionality before. So what we allow you to do is very actively control one product, but also do spreads, baskets, all from your keyboard. So right now, I am going to turn on one contract. Right now, I'm going to turn on this contract, this mini DAO here. When I say on, I mean this green trading view down here is illuminated. And when it's on, I can place orders with my keyboard. I'm controlling the orders up, down using the keyboard. If you look at this picture on the screen right here, I'm using my right hand to place orders on the right side of the keyboard using the red and blue buy and sell keys. And then I'm using my left hand on the left side of the keyboard to raise the prices up and down, to use my cancel requests, and also these buttons down here. It's really hard to see this, I know. Let me just raise it one more time. I'm using my fingers to move down from the price keys to down here to choose which contract I'm trading. Then with my thumbs, I'm able to control all of my special order quantities, and I can also use these buttons for more advanced functionality. I'll show you in a minute. Let me go back down here. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is just place some sell orders. I'll place some buy orders, and you can see your net position up here in the upper right part of this DOM. Right now I'm long 2. As many times as might happen when you're trading actively, you end up getting on the wrong side of the market, and it's hard to change your size real fast. So with this system, we have a macro builder that allows you to perform multiple actions with one keystroke. So with the macro builder, you can build the order entry method that you want, and then when you press one key, it will execute everything you've programmed it to do. So if I press the big red key on the keyboard, you'll notice it's going to cancel all my open orders, and it's going to trade to a short position of -6, like I just did. The reason it traded to -6 is because I have defined these targets in this area of the trading view, it's called. So I have a -6, a -3, a 0, a 3, and a 6. So if I was short 6 contracts right now, and I all of a sudden wanted to go long, I could press the big blue key to cancel my open orders and trade to long 6. I can also trade quickly to 0. The reason that trading with a keyboard with all these methods is so useful is because you can use both of your hands at the same time to do things that you would typically just do sequentially with a mouse. So if you're used to using a mouse to first placing your orders, then realizing, oh no, I'm on the wrong side of the market, you have to change your side. Usually don't just want to cancel your open orders, you usually want to change your order size to be large enough so that it'll let you reverse. So what you end up doing is one mouse action after mouse action, and by the time you're done with it, you've moved the mouse pointer 4 different areas on the same screen and pressed it 3 or 4 times. So it might have taken 2 to 4 seconds to do all those things. So the fact that you have multiple, all your fingers able to control everything at one time, it just makes you a lot faster. All right, so let's say you want to do baskets. You're trading this one contract, you're short, and all of a sudden Bernanke says something, and you want to go risk on. But you don't want to go risk on just with this one product. You want to go risk on with everything. You can push another key in your keyboard to turn on all your contracts at once, and then you can put in a basket order. I just put in that basket order using one key on my keyboard, and now when I press another key to lower the price, I'm able to control all the products at the same time. So if I press raise by 5 ticks, I'm going to fill on everything. All right, so if I want to buy another basket, I'm just going to do another key. This is buying a basket -3 across everything. I'm sorry if I get distracted every once in a while. There's a lot of noise on this line for some reason.
I think it's Brian's mic.
Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is run it up. If we could temporarily mute that.
You want to mute me, Mike, until I...
Yeah, you should have the mute option on your side. Do you have it?
Let me check it out.
Top left.
Okay, I'm muting them.
Okay.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. All right, so you could do most of the functions on this keyboard that I just showed you from the picture that you could do for one product, you could also do for multiple products at the same time. So right now we have a long position of 1 for 4 different contracts, a short position of 4 for another contract, then we have some open orders. I'll put in some more open orders just to make the point here. If all of a sudden I wanted to go short on everything, I could press one key, and now I've canceled all my open orders and I'm short all those products. So, I'm not suggesting that this is in any way something to do all the time, but you can set up your keyboard any way you want to, and you can use these functions, when you need to on the fly. All right, I'm going to skip over to showing another workspace. Before I do anything, I'm just going to trade flat, and I'm going to open up a spreading workspace, and to use this spread setup, I'm going to plug in a different keyboard. Now we sell the keyboards and the software. Sorry about that. We sell the keyboards in addition to the software. I can say we never intended to be a hardware company, but once we caught on to the fact that people didn't really know how to set up their keyboards, we thought it would just help everyone a lot if we not only offered the software to facilitate keyboard trading, but if we also set up keyboards for people. So what you're seeing here, all these different sample configurations, we offer the software to set up any configurable trading system you want using a keyboard. We also offer sample workspaces like the one I just showed you, this workspace that will allow you to trade spreads. We offer this for free. Also, we sell keyboards pretty close to cost, and then we offer other utilities for free to help you get moving. All right, so right now you'll see we have 3 different products as part of a bean crush, and you have the soybeans on the left side, soybean meal in the middle, soybean oil on the right. And I am going to quickly show you the keyboard that I'm using to trade this one. And this also has a video on our website. So with this keyboard, and I guess if you can't see me trading with it live, it's not going to be as helpful right now, but you'll notice that there's a few blue keys, black keys, and red keys. So when you press the blue keys, you can go long the spread. You press the red keys, you can go short the spread, and the black keys can go flat. Now the big keys are using aggressive limit orders or market orders, and the smaller blue keys and the smaller black and red keys are for placing orders for multiple products at the same time as part of the spread, but away from the market. So if I were to press one of these blue, black, or red keys at the bottom here, it's going to put in orders 3 ticks away from the inside bid or offer for each of my 3 products. And then once I have those orders in, I can control all the orders at the same time using the keys on the left side of the keyboard. So you'll see it says away and towards here. So if I press the away key, it'll move all 3 orders away from the market. Towards will move all 3 towards the market. And then if I press this green key, to market, it says, it's going to execute them all. So even if they're 3 ticks or 5 ticks away, they're going to get filled. And then I can use these keys on the right side of the keyboard to raise or lower the price of each of the working orders separately. So I'm just going to show you how this would work. So right now, I just pressed the blue key to buy the crush. That means buying the meal and the oil and selling the soybeans. If I press the away key, you notice it moves the sell away from the market, moves it up, and it moves the 2 buys down. I press the towards key, it moves all the orders closer to market, and then again I can raise or lower the first product, raise or lower the second, raise or lower the third. Now we're just looking at a market that's right now 12 hours delayed and nothing's really going on. I just wanted to show you how to control the orders. Now the real strength of this layout is when you have both your hands on the keyboard at the same time, because when the market's moving, you can quickly, very quickly adjust your orders for one of your legs without having to, automatically get filled on the other legs. This is really good for quieter markets or markets that you think you can get a little bit of an edge if you work your orders yourself. There's benefits to auto spray and there's benefits to manually spreading. It just depends on the situation. But the benefit for this setup is that you can choose your payups on the fly. So if I got filled, let's say on that second leg, well, I can choose on the fly. Do I want to get filled on this first leg and on the third leg, or do I just want to let them sit? I could work them, and then if I need to get into the entire spread at once, I could just press my to market key and now I'm filled on all the rest of the legs that weren't filled yet. There are lots of different ways to set up the keyboards in the workspaces. If I wanted to change the quantities, like right now the spread quantities here are -10, 11, and 9. I could change them very easily. I could add different. I could do butterflies. I could do 1 versus -1. I could trade multiple spreads at the same time. There's some people who have talked to me and said, they had multiple spreads working, and they might want to control their orders with a mouse, but just use the keyboard sometimes. So if they get in a bind, they can press one key and unhang themselves for all their open legs, and that's definitely a great option with this. You can also imagine you could just use like a trade to 0 button too, so you can flatten yourself if you get hung on anything, but instead of wanting to get in the entire spread, you just get out of the whole spread. I'm just going to show you one more example here. Let's say that you're trying to go along the spread. You got filled on your second leg, and now you decided, you know what? Instead of getting filled on the first leg and the third leg, I just want to go flat. What I'm going to do is just press one key right now, and when I press this key, it's one of those black keys in the middle, and I'm going to actually press the bottom black key that I showed you before. And when I press that, it's going to cancel the open orders for the first leg and the third leg, and it's going to put in an order to liquidate the second leg 3 ticks away. So in this way, the way that this workspace was set up is that everything is as close to single key press as possible. So think about a normal situation. If you got filled on one of your legs but not the other 2, you would have to cancel your open orders and then put in a new order with the quantity for that leg that you got filled. In this case, I just press one key. So that's the whole the idea of Keyboard Trader, to limit the actions that you have to do as you're trading, so you can focus on market data and give you 10 fingers to do everything, so you can perform as well as you possibly can. That's kind of tying up what I had planned to show. Obviously, we got a bunch more demos online. There's lots of different things you can do. We can go to more advanced setups, and you could trade 5, 10, 15 products at the same time if you want to get crazy. You could also just use this to trade one product with great precision, and I have personally done tons of testing with T4, and I love how it works with T4. And if I was going to start off, that's exactly how I'd start. I would just trade one product very simply and get the hang of it. Of course, if you trade spreads, just then you want to start by trading one spread. Anyway, anyone has questions, feel free to send them out. Otherwise, if you want to find anything else out from me or about our company or product, you can go to keyboardtrader.com. That's www.keyboardtrader.com. My email address is asheldon@keyboardtrader.com. That's ASHELDON@keyboardtrader.com. If you miss anything, just feel free to ask Mike or Brian, and anyone can set you up with me.
Okay.
All right. Thanks very much, everyone. Mike,
Thanks.
Brian, anything else? Or?
Sure. Thanks, Adam. Guys, do you have any questions for Adam and the Keyboard Trader before we move over to Brian? Oleg's asking, does this keyboard replace the conventional keyboard, or do they work together?
They work together. I mean, typically, the best thing to do is to have a separate trading computer from your data computer. So you're only executing on the keyboard. But that's just like a general, a good advice kind of thing. If you have only one computer used for trading and for data, I would just recommend taking your regular keyboard, pushing it to the back, and keeping your trading keyboard in front. That's what I do, and that's what everyone else is comfortable with.
Just a USB connection, right?
Exactly.
Fawaz asking, does it work with any system or broker, or is it only for T4? Well, this is a T4 webinar, so I'm going to take a guess.
Go ahead and tell them that you're not going to hurt my feelings.
I personally love how it works for T4. T4 has been a pleasure. So, but we do work with Xtrader Pro and with CQG Integrated Client.
All right. Fawn's asking, is there some type of a safety guard which will prevent false pressing of the keyboard, maybe like a cat or a dog?
Yeah, that's a great question. So can you still see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. So There's two ways to do this. On the upper left part of this keyboard, you see there's a power on and off key. You could either use these keys and turn the power off from your keyboard, or if you want to, you can just turn the power off using your mouse. If you didn't want these keys in the keyboard, you could just use the mouse and press that button. Now you can't see my video, but if I'm pressing keys on my keyboard, they're not doing anything.
Right.
So that's your safety.
Okay. All right, guys. So I don't see any other questions. If anybody has anything else, you can go to Adam's website. That was what, keyboardtrader.com?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Adam. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to turn things over to Brian. Okay, Brian. And Adam, if you'll just go on mute on your side, please. And Brian, you should see the option now to share your screen.
Yep.
Okay, we've got the screen.
Looks good now?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, everyone, thanks for taking the time today. Appreciate it as usual. Thank you, Adam, for spending a few minutes. I had the privilege of going to Adam's office the other day, and I will say that it's pretty impressive watching him work with the keyboard. He lost a little bit of luster in his presentation today by his video cam, if you will, not working and seeing the keyboard in action. So I would encourage anyone that has any idea of how that might work or any interest in knowing more, to contact Adam, because he can give you a one-on-one demo and see that video, because it doesn't quite have the power when you see how fast he is and how he's not looking at it and how quickly he can do certain trades. I was pretty impressed by doing it, so I encourage you to reach out to Adam if you're interested in that. And as usual, thanks, Mike, for putting this together. I know we're out here today to celebrate his 4-year anniversary, which is impressive in itself. I know we put a tremendous amount of time and effort into making these things happen for everyone. So, Mike, a special thanks to you. And as Mike said, we'll go over a few things today, and we'll save some time at the end to ask some rather silly and simple questions to give someone some prizes. But where I'd like to start off today is, I think I showed this to you in the past, but and this is finally out. It's been out for a few months now, but not a lot of people know about it, and that is our spread matrix. Let's see, it's 4 o'clock, so I should be able to show you some euro dollars, I believe. So we had a lot of requests from our customer base to create something similar to this, from our grain people, from our oil and natural gas, euro dollar type people that trade a great many spread combinations. And when you look at what it takes to right-click on something and put up a window like this, and if you just kept doing that over and over again, you would see how quickly and easily your screen gets filled up. And so we like the idea of the spread matrix. You can put a lot of markets in front of your screen with A, without taking a lot of space up, and B, maybe more importantly, is really a bandwidth issue. With looking at it in this format, you're obviously just seeing the inside market, the best bid and best offer for everything. A lot of times in spreads, that may be the only thing that matters. You can see parentheses around the things that are implied from the exchanges. But it puts a lot of power in your hands to quickly see something you want to do, and either right-click and look at it in the depth or DOM format that a lot of us are used to doing, or simply left-clicking and bringing up an order ticket, filling it out, hit enter, and put an order in. You can configure all your months, so if there's some back months that you may not trade, you can take those off. You can add spreads or butterflies to the list as well and see a screen like this. So you do have some configurable going back and forth between the calendar spreads and the butterflies. But I would encourage the users out there that are big spreaders, like to look at a bunch of different things, to take a look at this sometime in the next few weeks and give us some feedback, what you think about it. Like I said, I think it's been out live for a few months now, and we've got some good feedback from the guys here in Chicago that we kind of know really well. But I'm always, curious and anxious to hear what everyone else thinks that may use it more casually or even more advanced, like some of our traders. So next time you have a chance, log on, take a look at that. And it's available, in the simulation as well. So if it's something where you don't have our product live, you want to test it out. Everything that I'm showing you today, we have finally launched the spread matrix and the options into the sim market, so you can play with it there as well. The next thing I want to go over is, just real quickly, our option sheets. I know we did one a month or so ago, and we kind of had one of my option guys give you some really detailed stuff. What I kind of want to look at it from is a basic user. I'm not a big option guy, never was, but I think it's a great tool to sit there and look at a curve, a spread, the different deltas and Greeks that come into play if I'm looking to hedge a portfolio or just trade a hunch off of a number, off of a grain number or a Fed meeting, whatever it may be. Having these tools at your disposal, I think is pretty cool. One thing we did with the option sheets, because they can become overwhelming to some degree, and I think we're going to adopt this with the rest of our platform, and that is, as you look at an option sheet and go into the properties button, notice when I wave my mouse over this, you'll get a big pop-up on the right giving you a very detailed explanation of what that box is doing. Option sheets can be very complicated in terms of everything you can set from a volatility to how you want your sheets to read, upper or lower, and as the market's changing, to be able to go in and quickly change those parameters so your sheets are very accurate to what the market's trading, we thought was very important. So I think even for the novice person can jump into these option sheets and get a grip on what the market's doing and be able to react accordingly. We also, real quickly, if I can show you our home pages, we have a training video up here in the front, and down here at the bottom, we just put two together for the options. So I would again encourage anyone who has a desire to learn more about the options and the option sheets to watch that video. I think the two combined might be around 20 minutes. Take a look at them, log on to the sim, play with things. So you're not, we're not trading live, we're not hurting anything. Play with the different functionality you can do, see how easy and quick it is to create things, and if you want a more in-depth one, I can get one of our professional guys who wrote this to give you a really in-depth look at all the features it has. But the video is pretty good. They did that, and it kind of gets you off to a quick start. But just to highlight a couple really basic things for you is that when I'm looking at, what am I looking at here, corn. So corn's trading around 660. So if I look here, I've kind of highlighted the straddle, the at the money stuff. And to make life easier too, because this is a whole bunch of small numbers, is we put over on the left, here in the black, we have a description of each one of these. Again, like our whole platform, we try to make it as configurable as possible. So you don't have to have that on there. Once you learn how the sheets operate, you may not want to take that space up. But in the beginning, it's kind of nice to have that cheat sheet to look over and see what's going on. But what I like to use it for is that I can see a bid and offer in this market, 126 here at 147, and I can see what my sheets have it worth. And if I know that I'm high or low, I can simply just go over here and click my red arrow for down or my green arrow for up, and you notice that I'm changing these values. And as I do that, you'll notice how I'm getting a little more of a pink mark up here and down below here, then it'll start to shade off. All that's beginning to show you is what we call a heat map, which is beginning to give you an indicator of how far away the numbers are getting from your sheets. So if your sheets are really good, then there's a lot of good edge out there for you. If not, this is kind of a nice visual for you to go in and adjust your sheets. A couple different ways to do that. I can use the arrows. I can click on my volatility here, and I can change the value of the straddle. So a lot of people ask me, how would I know the volatility? How would I, put a good trade on? Is you can very easily look at a bid and offer and adjust it. I know a lot of people who will call a broker down the floor and just ask for the straddle in a certain month. You come here and you place that straddle, what you think it's going to be, apply it. We'll redo all the Greek numbers for you just that fast. So it's kind of neat. And then if people are looking to do more complicated trades, more of condors or butterflies or given call spreads, as I left click on these values, I have this option strategy solver come up. So if I click on a couple different strikes here, you'll notice that it puts together for me, and I can click on this three-way. As I click on that, it's telling me what I'm buying and selling, and if I look down here in these boxes, it's telling me where all my Greeks are. So if I were to make that trade, I can know right away what I need to do to hedge myself to be productive. That's a little more advanced than what me personally I'm looking to do with the options, but if you're ever looking to put together a Christmas tree or a condor, this is a great and easy way just to click my strikes, pull it up on this strategy solver, see what I need to do and do it. If I click something wrong, I can get rid of it here. I can click it back here. I can adjust these. So there's lots of different ways to do it, but it makes it very straightforward and a very simple way to trade. If you're not doing something complex like that, the basic trading off this is not much different from our normal system. Is where I can left click. I can see the ticket like this come up. I can click on here to bring up an actual ticket if I want, or I can just use this ladder format. I can go up here and put my trade in and be done. Helps if I put a volume in there. I can also click over here and change it back to the dome. So now when I come and right click, it's going to actually bring up the actual dome for me. So we try to be accommodating so everyone can get a personal feel for how they like to trade. Either pull up and see the depth, just put the order in right away. A lot of guys were trying to accommodate our professional traders who are looking to trade very quickly. So we came up with both ways for people to look at. One of the things that helps when we talk about things is using the same terminology. So for simplicity's sakes, long story behind this, I won't get into it, but we call our option sheets ANTS, just like the insect, ANTS, acronyms for the people who wrote it. So what happens is we put that on our website. We put that in the admin's portal. So as you as an individual user go back to your firm and ask for option sheets, they may or may not see that word anywhere, but we have it. Looks like we have advanced charts and charting and trading and pit trading. We call this ANTS. So if you're ever interested in trying it, that's what you'll call it. If you call us or if you call your firm administrator, that's the name we're trying to get them to understand as well. And like I said, feel free to look it over in the sim, use those pop-ups, try to get familiar with it. And if you're looking for information, please give us a call, because I'm by no means trying to simplify this. It is a very complicated sheet. It can do a lot. It's got a lot of bells and whistles. But I do believe for even an average option person who likes to look at a basic hedge of so forth can use this very effectively. Well, I was going to show you how easy it was to make. If you actually came into the Volatility Picker, you can go to the months, and if you called up and got a volatility for 1 or 2 strikes, it's kind of neat. I can go into an individual strike. Again, this is corn, so I go up to my 660s, something in that area. I could go put in a 0.22. If I knew that for a particular strike, I go down here and put a 0.25. And so what it does is it starts to draw a curve for me. So even though this looks funky and it's probably not very accurate, it's an easy way for me to put in some numbers to start creating a curve for myself of something I might be looking to trade, that I can get more information from friends or from other traders to make it easier. But it's so easy just to go through and change it. Just like with our models, everyone that trades options seems to have a different opinions. These are binomial, Black-Scholes, and Whaley are the 3 that we put in there. I think we have 2 more coming next month. But no matter what style you're looking for, you should be able to find it in all these settings. And again, the neat part about it, even though it can be overwhelming looking at all the different pieces that come up, the fact that we have that drop down in our pop-up window on the right, I think it makes it real easy to go through and just see what we're trying to create. So that's my option sheets. And quickly, I've gotten a lot of questions through the Big Mike's forum about the Autospreader piece, and it is something that is still in some beta testing. But I did want to show one particular spread that somebody was asking me for last week. I think I was giving a demonstration of just some basic, if you want to do like a Dow S&P spread or corn bean spread or maybe a Kansas City Chicago wheat spread. Those are all pretty basic. But one thing a gentleman asked me for was spreads versus spreads. So what I did was I came in here to create this, and what I did was I came here to my picker and I picked gold. And when I go down to my markets, what you'll notice is that I have the ability to choose calendar spreads and outrights. So if I took out calendar spreads, all I see is my outrights, but I can add the spreads in there. So what I did is I picked the June-July spread, and I came down here and chose it to go against the July-August spread. Again, I don't trade gold. I'm just picking some numbers out. But the neat thing about that is that you can pull it up and create these things for you. That didn't create right. 1 second. Create a spread like that for yourself, that you can not only watch and actually execute trades in, but actually do a So you see a marketplace like this where you can actually trade, and so the system's going to try to leg these two together. But the also neat thing is, and it's the other question I was getting a lot in the forum the last couple of weeks, is about charting. So the cool thing is that because of the charting package being involved, anything that I create as a spreader, as a synthetic spread that I want to see in the spread engine, I can also then chart. And I know a lot of people may not necessarily execute some weird combinations or different things they might look at, but I actually get more feedback during our beta testing that they think the charting piece of it is just as neat as the execution piece of it, because they can put different combinations of things that they've always thought about looking at, or they might be using an Excel spreadsheet currently to monitor those prices and net changes and so forth. Well, now you can do it on this, and you can actually see how it comes up with the charts. So again, the big thing there was to be able to create really any kind of spread you want, what kind of ratio you want, outrights versus other outrights to create a butterfly or condors, spreads versus spreads, feeder cattle versus live cattle. I was messing with a client last week. Any kind of combination like that you can create. You can sit there and trade it, but you can also chart it as well. And that, Mike, that's the majority of what I wanted to cover. If someone has a specific questions about any of that, I'd be more than happy to answer it.
Okay, so guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in now, and otherwise we can move on to giving away some prizes. So Brian, did you guys decide if it was going to be, the last email I think it just said iPad or Android? What was the?
Yeah, I was going to leave that as an option, Mike, because I don't know what people's preference are. If to me they're basically the same, but I know Samsung has that new Galaxy tablet out. Obviously the iPad's been out, or mini iPad's been out for a while. So I was basically going to have you an idea with the questions and answers today. You can put those winners as a list together, and maybe we can just reach out to them in a separate email and find out what exactly they want.
Sure, that'll be great. I'm sure that people will enjoy that very much. All right, so let's see. John's asking when the auto spreader is going to be ready for use.
Great question, John. I'm waiting for a new build this week because I had some issues last week with getting some weird leg fills. So if I can get that back in my hands this week, I'll go through another round of some personal beta testing. I have two guys here in Chicago that I know real well that are spreaders and have used it with me a little bit. So as ambiguous as that sounds, I probably need to have another 2 or 3 weeks of testing on my own, and then I like to reach out and grab a couple dozen people from anywhere that want to play with it as well, because everyone's got a different idea what to do and can break something that I couldn't break. So I'll probably need at least 2 or 3 weeks to get to that stage, and then we'll base it on how much feedback we get from others if something needs to be tweaked or not. So probably in 2 or 3 weeks I'll have a much better answer for you.
Is there like a list that somebody can email you and get on if they want to be a beta tester, or no?
Yeah, they can just email me directly at Brian, BRIAN, at ctsfutures.com, and just reference however you want, spreader, and just mention that you want to be a part of it, and I just keep that in a file, and when I'm ready to get out, I will send that list out, because what we do is we have a separate install for beta that I can email someone, so we keep it completely separate from the live and even the regular sim, so I can create someone a username, password, send them out the beta link, and have them play with it.
Okay, great. Let's see, Fawaz asking, do I need the keyboard trader to use it? So no, that's just an option from one of the third-party apps that they have.
Yeah, I mean, everything that I'm showing you is I'm just using a point-and-click mouse. But as Adam showed earlier, he can basically create, whatever an individual wants to see in terms of the macros for that keyboard trader. Could work on anything. But you don't have to have it to see the basic stuff that I did today. No.
Right. Okay. Okay. I don't see any other questions just yet. So. Do you want to go ahead and do you have anything else to show us, or do you want to do the questions and prizes? Or
no, I'm good to go.
Actually, here's one.
Do you want to read them off, Mike, or do you want me to? Oh, go ahead.
Here's one last question. Tim's asking, are the statistics calculated in the option trader, like volatility and Vega, also available as data elements in the T4 API?
I will double check that, but I'm almost positive yes. Everything we do is available through the API that you should be able to write to it and grab. But if I'm wrong on that, I'll put a post out on the forum to let you know.
Okay. And Brian, I say you go ahead and read the questions because I am checking my email. I don't think I even have them.
No problem. I'm looking at them right now.
Okay.
I'll just. You want me to go ahead and read off what we agreed to, Mike? Was not only obviously the question, the answer, but we agreed on an order, which we actually made very simple. Just I have 4 questions, guys, just to make life simple. And the first 3 questions are going to be a combination of a bunch of golf paraphernalia that I have, like towels, golf balls, and umbrellas. And then I have a 4th question that we're going to do the tablet. And I think, Mike, unless you disagree, we just made it simple, saying question 1 was going to go to the first person to answer correctly, second person, or
Right.
question 2, second person, 3, 4, 4. So
right. That way everybody, that way if you're a slow typer or if you're halfway around the world, the latency doesn't matter. So also I want to mention that it's one winner per webinar. So, if you win a golf ball, you're not going to win the iPad. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We want to keep it fair and just have 1 prize per person. I say golf ball. I mean, I know you're giving away more than 1 ball. There's actually one last question here before we get started.
Sure.
Is the DDE link available for Autospreader? So like Excel DDE interface?
I would say now we haven't done that. Most of our DD comes off our quote board, so when I create these synthetic spreads, I'm seeing them as a separate window like you see on my screen now. I don't have the ability to add that to my quote board, but I can certainly add that to my suggestion box form.
Okay. All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay. And Mike, you'll see the winners. I don't know if I see who types or not, but you'll take care of who comes in, right?
Yeah, except that I don't have the answers as far as, oh, you know what? I just found the email. I found it. Okay.
Okay.
And guys, I'm going to ask for your BMT username so that whenever the winner comes forward, I'll contact you when the webinar is done on BMT to get the information that I need. So just have that ready, okay? All right, go on, Brian.
All right, ready? Okay, guys, question number 1 today is going to be, what company was my guest speaker today?
Okay, and we already have the winner, Mike B. So the answer was Keyboard Trader and Adam Sheldon. So Mike, I need your BMT username, please. Okay, and what's the prize on that one, Brian?
I think I'm going to do a combination of all of them, Mike, for the first 3, the towels, the balls, and the umbrella.
Okay.
So everyone will get 1 of each, so it's no big deal.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, question 2. So we're looking for the second person that answers this one right.
Second question is, can our new Autospreader create calendar spreads versus calendar spreads?
All right. We've got the answer. So the answer is yes. And Fawaz, I need your BMT username, please. All right, so congratulations on that. Okay, so go on with the third question.
All right, even tougher. Can you chart the synthetic spread that you create in the Autospreader?
Okay, and we have the answer.
Tough one.
Yeah, so the answer is yes also. And so Spike13, I need your BMT username, please. Okay, and let me get that before we go on to the big prize here. Hang on 1 second. All right, so Spike, I'm waiting for your BMT username. All right, so for the big prize, you basically said, so first of all, we're looking for the 4th person that answers correctly, and you said they can, I'll just give them your email address, and you can ask them, if they want a Samsung, an iPad, or whatever.
Okay.
All right, go on.
All right, here's a tough one, guys. What are we giving a name to our new option sheets? So what are the new option sheets called?
Okay, and we've got the answer. I went with the 4th person to answer correctly, and the answer is ants. And the 4th person is Kaylee W., I need your BMT username, please. So congratulations on winning the big prize. Okay. Very good. Awesome, guys. So, Brian, I want to thank you as always, and Adam, of course, for his time today, and especially for giving away those great prizes. We have lots of fantastic prizes all month long. So, guys, be sure to check out all the remaining webinars this month for some more fantastic prizes. I'll post the recording of this sometime tomorrow, and I'll get in touch with the winners and get the prize info over to Brian at CTS. Thanks, Brian.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, so Brian, if anybody has any remaining questions, they can just email you. You said it was Brian
they can either go directly to Brian at CTS Futures, or they can post them on your forum, and I get an email alert when that goes out there as well. So either way.
Okay, we'll do that. All right, thanks, guys. See everybody later.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.